Peace, peace, family. Peace, peace. This is Maury Yacob in the Thursday night lesson. I didn't come on to stay long. I did not come on to stay long. I know I'm running kind of late, but I think the Creator for just bringing me to this point of my walk, and we thank the Creator for just giving me the opportunity to be able to come before you. And when you come in, make sure you press that like and subscribe button. We thank the Creator for each one of you. This is a Thursday night lesson. And the lesson tonight is the Creator. This is the Creator's chessboard. It's not ours. It's the Creator's. A lot of times we tries to make things be on our end as the chessboard. We get into the point of where we actually how do I say it? We tries to make things fit what we want things to fit. And we tries to bring things to the position of ourselves. But one thing we don't understand is that your feelings, your emotions, in the way you think don't matter. It doesn't. This is the Creator's chessboard. And a lot of times we tries to make it our chessboard. So on this evening, I'm going to be talking about the house. Because if you're not, I don't want to go ahead of myself, is that if you're not in the position within a house, salvation don't belong to you. Let me say that again. Your salvation is coming from your house. It's not coming from outside of your house. Your salvation is coming from your house. That's why it's very important of who you link with, who you deal with, and who you connect with. See, a lot of times we get to the point where we just connect with whoever. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Shalom, Brother Trey. That's not how this works. If you are born inside of a house, then that house, you belong to that house. If you connect yourself to a house, you belong to that house. Salvation, your salvation is not coming from anything else, or your deliverance is not coming from anything else but from your house. See, a lot of times we get to a point where we think, I create my salvation. No, you don't. Your salvation is created from the house that you were put in or that you were born in. That's why we have to be very careful when we make oaths. We have to be very careful when we make oaths, because you're going to be held accountable for that oath. So when you're talking about the house, that's where your salvation is. Your salvation is not no other place. It comes from no other place but in your house, or the house that you're connected with. A lot of times we don't agree with that, because we think, oh no, say I'm in control of my salvation. And you are. You are in control of your salvation. Because you control what house you are connected with, or you're going to connect with. You don't have no control of the house you are born from, but you are in control of the house that you connect yourself with. You are in control of that. And a lot of people is going to connect to houses that are meaningless. Shalom, Brother Shava. They connect to houses that are meaningless. And when they connect to a house that is fruitless, void, or meaningless, it feels like a fulfillment, because everybody's there. You know, everybody's over there. The leader got everybody in subjection. The leader got, oh, he looked like he's in control because everybody listens to that leader. You know, a lot of people dwell over there with that leader. See, ain't but a minuscule of you that's over here. And see, that makes you void, does it? Because the question now becomes, what does a house consist of? Because we love to use Numbers 118, by the house of their fathers. You see? The house consists of, before it becomes a family, the house consists of the law. And that male and that female dwells into that one house where the law is, and they begin to build outward with the law together. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So as they build, they connect one to another. They connect. They produce a family, which is children. And then everything moves so on, and so on. But when you're talking about a house, you're talking about the law. So my question to you, just on the front end, how did Noah's family were saved from the flood? Was Noah 3 sons connected with the Creator like Noah was? Was Noah's wife and Noah 3 sons' wives connected with the Creator like Noah was? Who saved Noah's house? Who saved it? We know the Creator did it. But was his house in line with him? Or was it Noah's righteousness that carried his house through the flood? Which one was it? Was Noah's sons saved on their own merits? Or was Noah's righteousness is what saved his house? Which one? Because I never read a story where Noah's wife and their children and their children's wives helped save their house through the flood. I never read that. And if you have, put it in the chat. I never read it. I never read that. See, because the house consists of righteousness. It's not consist of anything else but righteousness. And if you are a man in your house, you're supposed to be the righteous one in your house. You men, supposed to be the righteous one. Because Noah's righteousness is what carried his family through the flood and beyond the flood. Noah's righteousness is what saved his family. How about Abraham? Was Abraham's wife Sarah convening with the Creator like Abraham was? Because remember, when they got married, they was a part of the same house. So was his wife convening with the Creator like Abraham was? When the Creator told Abraham to leave your father's land and go, did the Creator speak to Abraham's wife too? Or did his wife understood the game plan and she made it possible for him to fulfill? Which one? Which one, family? Abraham told his servant, go get a wife for my son, but don't get it a Canaanite. See? And the servant went amongst Abraham's people to go get a wife for his son, to be able to start his son's house. But his servant could have disobeyed him and brought him back anything. But his servant realized being inside of a righteous man's house is how his salvation came. I want you to think about this. Because see, a lot of us, we got a lot of things twisted. We got a lot of things twisted. We have a lot of things twisted. Because see, a lot of people believe salvation depends on them. And it does. Individually, it does. But collectively, what house are you connected with? Explain. I mean, what house are you connected with? Because the church is a house. These Hebrew Israelite camps are a house. These organizations like NAACP, ACA, ACLU, and all, those are houses. Sororities are houses. Your job is a house. Because somebody's at the forefront running that job that you are getting paid from. That's a house. And the question is, are you in control of it? Who saved Abraham's house? Who saved it? Not Abraham. Abraham, well, I'm talking about Noah. Who saved Noah's house? Or Abraham's house? Who saved it? Who saved it, family? See, a house first consists of the law. Then the next point is it consists of a male that abides according to the law. And then he invites a female in to the house to help him serve that law in that house. See how that go? Give me 1 second. I forgot to plug up the tablet, the laptop. So when you're talking about a house, that house has to first be saturated with the law. Then the male begins to enter that home and he invites a female into that home with him to build. And as they produce a family, the wife's supposed to teach the children the male's vision. That's what she's supposed to do. Because the man is what's carrying the vision. And the female is what's helping carrying vision. And then she trains the children into that vision of that house. So that when they grow up in that vision of that house. But what happened over time, we done became relaxed. And we're trying to fit our culture into this society's narrative. And men done become weak and women done become haughty. So when you have marriage, you don't really have a marriage. You have just two people staying together. Because a house is built with purpose. A house is built with a vision. A house expands from knowledge. And the foundation of the house holds up with wisdom. And if you're missing either one of those factors, you don't have a house. You don't have a house. Miriam spoke against Moses. Moses, the creator, cursed Miriam for speaking against the head of the house. Yeah. And guess how Miriam got the leprosy from off of her? It wasn't Aaron praying for her. It wasn't a parents praying for her. Friends, it was the head. The head of the house is what removed the curse. It was the head, family. It was the head. Guess who he came to when he was bringing the covenant? He went to Abraham. He didn't say nothing to Sarah. Sarah overheard, but he didn't say nothing to Sarah because she wasn't the head. She wasn't over the house. Neither was Noah's wife or his sons. They was not over the house. It was Noah. That's the reason why the head of the house is where your salvation coming from. That's where your salvation coming from. That's why everybody who playing these leadership roles, you don't know what that you doing. Because their salvation is pinned on you. Because they join in your house. When I was a part of Hebrew Institute in Chicago, and when that brother was teaching some things, and I didn't get down with that, I walked away from it. And those brothers came and started attacking me personally. Y'all in sin because, see, I left them and went to IUIC. You don't follow that, but you're teaching the same thing. You taught JC, they're teaching JC. It's just a different organization. So when I got past those brothers, those brothers attacked me personally through verbiage, words, calling names, this and that. I took it because I was a part of their house. But when I left your house, all that should have been subsided, but it wasn't. Those brothers was trying to do everything they can to defeat me. But then I saw one of the brothers walking on the highway out in Garden City. The brother was getting ready to walk all the way to the island. To the island. But I remember when the brother sat there and said all that mess about me, but I saw him walking. I gave the brother a ride. And me and that brother, we cool till this day. It don't matter what he said. I was showing what? Love to the brother. You see? IUIC wanted me to commit to certain things in their house. And when that went against Torah, of the Torah that I knew at that time, I walked away. And they crashed out on me. Because that's their house. I'm not mad at a man for what he says in his own house. I don't, that's not my problem. Then these brothers, when I left IUIC, these brothers went to Strong Tower. They had a phone conference against me. I'm like, well, God, dog, what is in me that people is up against? They had a phone conference against me to get me the hell out the way. Because they wanted my little brother in that position. And I kept telling them, you can have the motherfucker. I don't care. Because those positions don't make me. I could dig another well. they said all kinds of manners against me. So then I left that and I went to another Masonic group. And I saw how they were moving. They were supposed to came here. People was waiting on the head leader to come here, and he always flew over us to go to Jacksonville or go to Atlanta. Same BS that IUIC did. And people looking at me and charging me like, I mean, I got this man, I could bring this man here. The man said he was coming. But people began to leave. Because they were making it look like I was the liar. I was the liar from somebody else's action. But that's their house. Because I can't run another man's house. So I began to build my own platform. Because I got tired of other people's freaking house rules. So I began to build my own platform. And I'll get somewhere in a minute. Just stay with me. I ain't going to be long, I promise you. And I started on Facebook. I started on Facebook. And I was rolling with a lot of the brothers that was indigenous at the beginning. Used to talk, call, nap, chip. We used to do it all on Facebook. Some brothers got banned off Facebook, but I was still on Facebook. And I was asking people around me to help advance this house. But the ones that was around me, they didn't know what to do. Or was not even fucking interested. So I began to meditate and do things on my own. Start pushing things out myself. And then it went from Facebook to YouTube. And here we are. The house that the Creator helped me build. When I was asking for help, nobody helped me with this. Only people who helped me build this house was people on the outside. I'm going to say it. Once when the house was built, or they see it's building, that's when everybody inside want to come in and now take part. So I did that. And I'm saying this for a reason. We're going to get into scripture in a second. And I promise you, I'm about done. And now people want to come in and they wants to take part because they see something moving. They see something moving. But ain't hardly nobody was still pushing on nothing. Nothing. Everybody had a perception at what they think about ITFTR, entertainment or ITFTR network. To get this to where this is at today, many times I was disappointed in those that was around me that could have helped and chose not to, or chose to give a slack hand, but not a full hearty hand. And then when you have people come, jealousy comes out. See how that works? Jealousy comes out. But nobody, but I remember Brother Marcus told me, he said this personally to me. Brother Marcus said the ones that's around you know that the way you work. When you come home, everything should be set up and you should just be able to go straight on in. A lot of times I be tired, but I keep pushing. So we come to the point where's that the house has to be righteous. We're not talking about partial. We talk about whole. So I sat back. I was praying because many times I felt hindrance. People was praying against me. People was moving against me, and people wasn't just interested. And I prayed many times. I was praying, and I was asking the Creator for help. But I kept being reminded of the vision that the Creator showed me. I'm going to be out in the ocean by myself. And it wasn't just on this platform. It was when I was a pastor in the church. Same thing. No help. Or when people start to like you, you got jealousy amongst you. People hate how you preach. People hate how you teach. People hate that people draws to you. You just got a jealous spirit. You got people jealous around you. When you sit there trying to do the right thing, people don't like that. But one thing I had to realize, and I had to learn and understand, it's about the house. When I was left with that building, that I had to foot that building, all them brothers left me with the bill. See, that was my house struggling to pay that. My house was struggling to pay that. I was left with that. You saying, well, what all this got to do with anything? I'm about to show you. Let's go to the book of Job, the first chapter. Who saved Abraham's and Noah's house? Who saved it? That's why I be telling people, I don't care. I don't care what people do or what people say. People can control the narrative in how they want people to believe what they think and what they feel. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. So I'm not interested in the feelings. I'm interested into results. That's why I grind. I don't care who listen and who don't listen, who come and don't come. I don't care. Because y'all act like, people act like I'm the only one making oath. People act like I'm the only one out here making an oath of keeping my word. Because at the end of the day, each one of you know the truth. You know the truth. I don't have to stand over you to say this the truth, this the truth, this the truth, this the truth. You know, no, I ain't got time for that. That's too much wasted energy. Either you live according to the law or you're not. So let me show you something. Job, the first chapter, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name is Job. And that man was perfect and upright. And one that what? Feared God and eschewed evil. Now, I want you to see something here. I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you something. One thing we don't understand, we don't seem to understand, or we lose sight of, is what's that? Nothing belongs to you. We think it does, but it don't. Your own life don't belong to you because you don't even know when you're going to die. Nothing belongs to you, but we think it does because we're going according to feelings, our emotions. Job was an upright man. And Job understood that nothing belongs to him. Nothing. But we put it in our minds, thinking that it does. That's the reason why we have these attitudes. That's the reason why we talk the way we talk to each other. We feel the way we feel about each other because we think something belongs to us. Not even your life belongs to you. But we think it does. Your child don't belong to you, but you think it does. That's why you say my child, my daughter, my son. Those my twins. Those ain't your children. That is the Creator's creation. But you take a hold to it, right? That's what you're doing. You see? Every sin in that Bible, let me say it again. Every sin in the Bible comes from how an individual felt. I'm going to say that I'm going to say it again. Every sin in the Bible comes from how an individual felt. Every sin you commit today comes from how you feel. Because I could go back to the beginning. The Bible says when Eve saw, that's a feeling. That it was good for food, that's a feeling. That's what she's thinking. She's feeling a certain way to think a certain way about what she got in her hand or what she's dealing with. You see? Every sin in the Bible came from how an individual felt. See, I keep coming across people who seems to think when they become friends with me, they can bend my will. You can't bend my will because my will is moving according to law. It doesn't move according to your feelings. It moves according to the purpose that I was purposed to perform. If we friends, cool. We friends. But you're not going to bend my will. And if you don't like it, get the on. See, everybody want to bend the will of the creator instead of participating to make sure that the creator's will is performed. I've been in this walk for 17, 18 years now. I ain't no freaking new jack. I don't have to act like everybody to be me. I don't have to talk like everybody to be me. I don't have to freaking think like everybody for me to be me. So Job was a righteous man. The Bible says he was perfect and upright and one who feared the creator and he obscured evil. He was a righteous man. You see? Number one, Job lived according to the law and he was full of wisdom. That's number one. That's the first thing I want you to put in your mind. Because when you're dealing with a house, that man has to be full of wisdom and he has to be abiding according to law. Nothing else matters. Because if that man is not living according to the law and full of wisdom, then you ain't got no house. You ain't got no house. Job lived according to the law, and Job was full of wisdom. It didn't say, when it says he was perfect, it didn't say he didn't make mistakes. Because perfect just simply means mature in specific areas. You see? Job was mature where it counts. And he was working on the back end where it didn't count. Now some people say, well, what you mean by that? See, that's almost like double. No. See? What I mean by that? Hold on for a minute. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on. I forgot why this thing is acting up like this. Anyway, I ain't gonna be long anyhow. He was full of wisdom. Job understood what was taking place. That's why. Okay, now I'm good. All right. Job. Okay, where you at now? Oh, come on. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. We good now. All right. Okay, so Job, he understood the law. He was a man full of wisdom. He was a man full of wisdom. And when he was a man full of wisdom, he understood his house. Let's keep reading. Verse 2. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. So now, number 2, he had a family. So now you know we're talking about a house. He had a family. You see? Seven, he had what? 7 sons and 3 daughters. Number 3, verse 3. He sustained also his substance also were 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yokes of oxen, and 500 she asses, and a very great household. A very what? Great household. Job was wealthy. So that this man was the what? Greatest of all the men of the East. Job was wealthy. See how that work? And many of us may not be that wealthy, but you over a house. You're over a house. You see? The Creator is sustaining you. So, number 3, he was wealthy. Now, you may not be like Job, but you are over a house, men. You are the head of a house, men. So let's go to verse number 4. And his sons went and fasted, and his sons went and feasted in their house. So that means now at this time his sons have their own house. So each one of his sons got their own house. Everyone his day. So each son had a day that they feasted at their house together. Each son had their own personal day that everybody came over to feast. And they sent and called for what? Their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. They wanted their sisters to be a part of this too. They got festivities. Hey, festivity, yeah. Hey, that's when they got festivities, you know? Everybody, they just having these festivities, birthday parties, picnics, and all this other stuff going on. But watch this. Number 4, notice his family got comfortable. They just having these feasts. His family got comfortable. Job family, they got comfortable, family. They got comfortable. You see? Let's keep going. Verse 5. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them. When it was finished, having their fun, Job was on duty, trying to keep them in line with the law. See, that's a righteous man. Because a righteous man loves his family. And not just the immediate family, but those who connects to the house. You see? A righteous man wants to see those in his house and who connects to his house be sanctified. That's what I'm telling you. Job followed the law. And he was also showing what? Feelings and emotions about his house. So let's keep going. And rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. So he's fasting and he's praying about his house. Because his house is having fun, comfortable. They just doing all kind of foolishness. But a righteous man don't participate in bullshit. Peace, Sister Latoya. A righteous man don't participate in bullshit. Job sat right there. And made he was sanctifying his house. He was setting apart his house. This is what Job was doing. Because I'm going to tell you why he was doing it. And it says for Job, in verse 5, I'm still in verse 5, for Job said, he's talking to himself. Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned. See, Job, let me tell you something. A man that is righteous knows when his house is fucked up. Now, I'm going to say that across the board. A man that is righteous knows when his house is fucked up. And Job knew his sons were not right. See, Job can't put this on other people. Like I told y'all, I've been a part of other people's houses. But now I'm talking about this goddamn house. Job knew in his spirit. He knew what his sons were doing. He knew where his house was. Job knew. But notice how the writers wrote it. It may be that my sons have sinned. A man that is a watchman sees inside of his house and he sees outside of his house. He knows what's being done and he knows what's not being done. There's no might in it. There is no might. It is. And he says, and what? And they curse, they may have what? Curse the Creator in their minds. You know how you curse the Creator? You know how you curse him? You don't give a flip about your house. That's how you curse the Creator. You don't care nothing about your house. That's how you curse the Creator. You just let everything goes on in your house. Job already saw it. Job saw that. Job knew that his sons was not in tune with the Creator. He knew that. Job knew that. You don't have to be a rocket science to see a lot of stuff. Job knew this. And the Bible says he knew in their heart that they cursed the Creator. And did continually, meaning Job watched how his sons and his daughters were moving. Now, here's the point. If his sons were and his daughters were moving differently from him, where did they get that attribute from? They got it from the wife. That's why Job was moving different from his children, and his children were moving different from him. Because I just sat there and told you that the house consists of the law. And when you consist of the law, when the male comes into the house, he has to connect himself to the law and invite a female in that is willing to connect with him with the law to build. And then as they have children, the wife's supposed to teach the children the vision in that house. But why was the sons not doing according to what Job was doing? Because the woman raised them different. That's why Job felt in his spirit that they were cursing the Creator. It wasn't that he felt it, he saw it. And a lot of times, we men keep our mouth shut. You know why? You know why it's not being weak? It's that you want to see better. You want to see better. That's why Abraham had sex with Hagar, because he wanted better. Now, I could go deep into that. Because, see, when you see you want better, you do things according to feelings. And so we get caught into these little spider webs. And that's what happened with Job. Job got caught into a spider web. He saw the attributes of his children. He saw the attributes in his house. He saw all these things. So as his children were just comfortable, his house became comfortable in their sin, in their wickedness. Notice one thing. Job knew things weren't right. He knew it. That is why he had to what? He had a feeling his sons were committing sin. He knew it. He knew it. But let's keep going. I'm about done. Notice what verse 6 says. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Creator. And Satan came also among them. Now notice it flipped from Job recognizing his house to a day when the sons of God and Satan was before he presented themselves along with the sons of God. Why did he do that? Because it's letting you know that your opposition is really in the spirit. Now you'll think in the Christianity world that this is the devil. No. Now I could break the context of this verse down. But let's keep it on the point of where I'm at. See, there's people who comes and conjugate things against you. They don't see the good in you. They see always the negative in you. The word Satan just simply means opposition. So who was Job's opposition? It was his house. That's why they were comfortable at what they were doing. They didn't care about Job living righteous. That wasn't even on their Richter scale. They didn't care. But Job sitting here trying to plead for them. But they didn't care that the energy that was Job was using for them, they didn't care. It didn't matter to them. So let's keep riding. Verse 7. And the Creator said unto the opposition, whence came you? Where you come from? And notice what he said. Did Satan answer he answered the Creator and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. Well, what you mean by that? He's a wanderer. What is a wanderer? Do a wanderer is a bum? No. That's not a wanderer. A wanderer just simply means someone who's not connected to nothing. That's all it is. And if they're not connected to nothing, then they're going to bring confusion and strife to you. You see how that works? Let me say it again. A wanderer is someone who's not connected to nothing. And when they come, they're going to bring confusion and strife towards you. That's a wanderer. Israel wandered for 40 years. They weren't connected to that mountain. They weren't connected to that wilderness. They were connected to the land of milk and honey. But as long as they was wandering, they were not connected to nothing. And that's why the confusion and strife was among them. So he asked Satan, where you come from? Where you come from? He said, pretty much, I was wandering. I'm not connected to nothing. I'm not connected to nothing. Let's go to Proverbs 21:16. Proverbs 21:16. Of understanding will rest in the assembly of the dead. You ain't connected to nothing. Because if I have understanding, I'm going to be connected to something. If I have wisdom, I'm going to present a purpose. But the opposition here, he was just walking around because he's dead. He's confused. It don't matter him presenting himself. He has nothing connecting to. And that's what happened in Job's house. There was nothing that his family was connected with. That's why they was at leisure having fun. It didn't matter what the man were doing, what the righteous man were doing. And none of that mattered to them. Let's grab a couple more. Proverbs 29:18. When you wander from understanding, you're dead. You're dead. It don't matter. You know the Bible. The devil know the Bible. Your enemies know the Bible. But when you wander from understanding, what is that understanding? Purpose in the house. When you wander from that, you're dead. Because now you're on the outside of your house. So now, 29:18, it says, where there is no what? Revelation, the people cast off restraint. Where there's no knowledge or understanding, the people go astray. You see? The people go astray. Where there's no understanding, the people go astray. Where there's no knowledge, the people go astray. Where there's no wisdom that gives foundation, people goes astray. It didn't say people going to automatically listen to you. No. You just present it to them. And then you let them make the choice. But happy is he who keep the law. Because there are going to be a lot of people who just wander. And it looked like, yes, a whole bunch of people there. And it looked like they got it. They look like they got it. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not concerned about everybody else's house. I was in a lot of people's houses. I'm not concerned about that no more. Because what they do in their house, that's on them. But Joshua say, as for me and my house, we will serve the Creator's law. Hosea 9:17. It's about the house, family. Hosea 9:17. My God will cast them away because they did not obey him. And they shall be what? Wanderers among the nation. That's why you see a lot of people have those feelings for those nations, have the feelings that they want to do what the nations does. They want to hang up under the nations. They want to be like the nations because they're wanderers. They're not connected to the law. And these people who's not connected to the law becomes your op. They become your opposition. They become Satan to you, against you. Because if you ain't following the law, then you picking up the ways of the nations. And guess what people do? They would take and bring that mess in your house. Because Job saw it with his own sons, his own 3 daughters. His own children brought the foolishness in his house. And they became the opposition to Job, his own children. See, a wanderer is not connected to nothing that is righteous. It don't matter if you're an Israelite. You can still be a wanderer. That's why he called them Satan, because you became the opposition to the law. You just going to and fro. That's all you're doing. See, you're not doing anything. So let's keep it moving. Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, the opposition, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect man and an upright man, one that feareth God and obscure evil. Have you tried him? This is what the Creator was asking to say. The opposition. You tried him? He's an upright man. Now watch what he says. And Satan answered the Lord and said, do Job fear God for naught? In other words, do he really fear you if nothing was there? Would he fear you if it was just him? Would he fear you? Would he keep the law if he was by himself? You see? This is what the opposition said to the Creator. Verse 10. Has not you made an hedge about him? You protecting him. Because that's why I asked you at the beginning, how did Noah's family cross over the flood? It was because of that righteous man. How was Miriam, who was cursed, became uncursed? It was because that righteous man, Moses, he was the only one that could have helped reverse what she did to herself because she was a part of his house. The opposition say you protected him. See, you got too much protection around him. He said you protected him. And about his house. You got his house protected. And about all that he has what? On every side. Man, you just out here protecting this guy. Nothing can get to this guy. Nothing. Nothing. Thou hast blessed the works of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. This dude's rich. I mean, if I take this man, he can replace that. I mean, so you giving me a losing, it's a losing hand. Come on, fam. But he said, but notice what he said in verse 11. Put forth thy hand now and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face. I guarantee you, if he lose everything, he'll curse you. That's what he said. Because you know why he said that? Because he knew Job was connected and loved his house. He knew this. He knew this. So watch this, verse 12. And the Creator said unto Satan, the opposition, behold, all that he has is in thy power. All that he have is in your power. You can do what you will now. Only upon himself put not forth your hands. So the opposition went forth from the presence of the Creator. Everything that he owns is in your control. The opposition. See, the opposition don't attack you outwardly. He attack you inwardly. You see? He attacks you in your house. Verse 13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their elder brother's house. And there came a message unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside him. And the Sabian fell upon them. The sunbeams fell upon them and took them away. Yes, they have slain the 7 with an edge of the sword, and I am the only one escaped alone to tell you. So in other words, family, he's losing the very things that's around him that was keeping him afloat. He's losing it. While he was yet speaking, there came also another man saying, the Chaldeans made out the bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with an edge of the sword. And I escaped alone to tell thee. You notice what's happening? Everything's shrinking from big to small. Everything. Y'all notice that? Everything is shrinking from big to small. Verse 18. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their elder brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they were dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. It went from big to small. You see? It went from big to small. Peace, Shamar and Emery. Verse 20. Then Job rose and rent his what? Mantle. That's his turban. And shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped. Now Job is worshiping because now he's trying to figure out what the hell is going on. 21. And it said, naked came I out of the mother's womb, and naked shall I what? Return, Father. The Lord gave, and the Lord has what? Taken away. Blessed be the name of the Creator. Now, Job is coming to a point in his worship that he's realizing, you know what? I'm not in control of this. So I have to succumb to what I'm not in control of. Because Job realized right here from this moment that he was trying to get his house in order, but his sons and his daughters were not listening. They were comfortable in what they were doing. They were comfortable. So Job had to come to a grips within himself that this has nothing, he has no power over this. See, when a righteous man realized that it's nothing else more he can do, he comes to grips to let it go. and begin to depend back on the Creator. Verse 22. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged the Creator foolishly by asking the Creator, why me? Why this? Why that? Why this? Crying and complaining like, oh, I can't believe, why are you doing this to me? No, 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 no. The Lord bringeth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Creator. Because the Creator's in charge. It's his chessboard. It's the Creator's chessboard. And I'm going to say this and I'm closing. That's why as time went on, what took place? Job's wife came to him and told him to curse the Creator. Now, I'm gonna say this. Let me say this right here. Let me say this right here. Let me jump down to the second chapter verse. I'm gonna start at verse 6. And the Creator said unto Satan, behold, he is in your hands, but save his life. Verse 7. So went the opposition forth from the presence of the Creator, and smote Job with sores boiled from the what? Sole of his foot to his crown. And he took him a potsherd, sheared, and scraped himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, do you still retain your integrity? See, notice what she asking him. Do you still think that the Creator is blessing you? See, people look at this channel and say, ain't nobody coming over here. The Creator ain't over here. People tell you, oh, ain't nobody listening. People tell you, oh, ain't nobody supporting you. People tell me, oh, what you gonna do if everybody leave? That's what Job's wife just told him. Then his wife said unto them, do thou still retain your integrity? You're at the bottom that nobody listened to. You still got integrity? People lying on you, done talked about you. They spreading rumors. They done put their story out where everybody looking at you. Your integrity is intact. Your integrity is being questioned. And when she said, curse God and die, she wasn't talking physically. She was telling him to walk away. Because she wasn't in it. She wanted him to walk away from what he was doing in his house. Because she trained his children against him. Her actions was telling Job to stop believing or stop following what you're doing. It's not helping you, son. This is what she was telling him. It's not helping you. But he said to her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. When a man believe in his house the law, you're not going to move him into nothing else. Because a man who believes in law don't operate according to feelings, don't operate according to emotions, don't operate according to what I think and what I believe. If it ain't law, it's bullshit. And show me a law that the Creator gave Israel that make you feel first. Because we go according to what we feel. Not according to law. We go according to feelings, not law. Job told her, you sound like a foolish woman. You sound foolish. I'm not about to move away from the law. You can look at a woman's actions, and she's telling you to curse the Creator. Look at how she moved, the things she say, telling you to curse the Creator. And what it means to curse the Creator. That means the laws that you are following, throw them in the trash. Because those laws ain't helping you. I'm helping you. We're helping you. See, my children, when she was telling Job, we doing good, but your children's dead now. Now you got souls all over you. Now curse. Get away from what you believe. Because it's not helping you. You see? People say they're gonna expose me. Well, expose. Curse God and die. So Job said you sound like a foolish woman. You sound foolish. Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we receive evil? In all this, did not Job sin with his lips? You see? Job understood that things in his house had to be exposed. Because he was living good at one time. But now the house has to be exposed. In order for the house to grow. My last few scriptures, and I'm closing. I knew you was coming. 1968. I'm glad you came. Now, last week on Friday, 1968, you called Sister Latoya in my chat a bitch. Now, let me see if you a man or you a bitch. Because the Bible says you don't supposed to lay with a man like a woman. 1968. I see you on Facebook. And I pull up your page on YouTube. 1968. Now let's see if you a bitch and come up here like a man. Show your face because we already got your face. Now watch you be silent and act like a bitch. 1968. Yeah, that's all you can say is what you can say in the chat. A man should not lay with a man like he does with a woman, right? 1968. Hint, hint. Which one of y'all the bitch? No, you ugly. You's an ugly, bald head man. I don't care nothing about your education. Nah, you don't need my number. You don't need my number. I don't care. I don't give a damn about your education. Let's see if you a grown man or you a bitch. Come up here. Let me put the link in the chat. Let me put the link in the chat. Come on up here and let's see. By you calling her that, let's see if that's what you are. Now, my phone number is private. You don't get it. You don't have it. You don't need it. My phone number is 1-800-THE-LAW. And if you want my other number, 999-TORAH. Now, don't try to run now and ask me for my number. Explain why you call her a bitch. Yes, I'm calling you that. Now I don't want to hear your voice because you might sound sweet, bro. You don't come in my chat disrespecting my females. You don't do that. You don't disrespect my brother. You disrespect the brother Shava. You don't disrespect nobody in my chat. Now, either you a man or you a bitch. Which one? Because I want the smoke. Nah, you ain't getting my number. You ain't getting my number. And you a funky bitch too, Negro. She got more class than you ever have. Bald head freak. Nah, you ain't getting my number. 1-800-TORAH. There you go. That's my number. 1-800-TORAH. 1-800-TORAH. So we see that you ain't a man. See, it's easy to call, it's easy to go after the sisters, but here's a man right here in your chat, bro. I'm right here in your chat, bro. You ain't coming in my house disrespecting nobody. Take that shit somewhere else. Come. And I promise you, when you do, you better be ready. I ain't that one, bro. Quick deflecting, come up on the chat. The link is in the chat. Let me put it back up here. Think I'm deflecting. Here you go. Link in the chat, bro. Think I'm deflecting. Think I'm deflecting. And I promise you, I'm going to promise you this one. Now let me stop. But I'm going to say this to you, 1968. I know. Say what you got to say. Say what you got to say. But I bet you won't come up on this platform. Care nothing about no chat. I don't care nothing about no chat. But I promise you this one. When you come for me, just say it like that. Mm-hmm. A man shall not sleep with another man like a woman. When you come for me, bruh, I ain't moving. I'm not that dude, bruh. I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude, bruh. Because, see, I don't care. I'm not an internet dude, brother. You see my face. I don't hide, brother. See, I see right there? Everybody see him right there? Let me blow it up. See, everybody? See, I don't have a water thing on my arm thing. This my actual face. See, I don't hide, brother. But this is what I be telling y'all. This is what I be telling y'all. Your house has to be righteous. You can't fear this foolishness because this is the opposition. Nothing can happen if it ain't the will of the Creator. Nothing. See, this is the stuff that I be telling y'all. You got to get rid of it. So, my conclusion, if you ain't fucking with me on this platform, shalom. That goes for people in my house and out my house. I'm not that one. I'm not for the ratings. I'm for the information. I know who's wicked around me. And I know who's striving to be righteous around me. This walk is real. The house that is built is real. Let me grab one more scripture and I'm going to close out. Let's go to Haggai, the first chapter. Job had to realize he could not. Job had to realize he cannot Job had to realize Job had to realize he could not stay into his people's feelings. He had to come out. Hagar, the first chapter. This is during the time of Darius. But notice what he says in verse 4. Verse 3. Then the word of the Creator by Hagar the prophet, saying, it is time for you, O ye, to dwell in your citadel house, and this house lie waste. Now, therefore, thus says the Creator of hosts, consider your ways. You have sown much, but bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough to drink. But you are not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there's none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. So when a righteous man sees holes in his house, he goes and work on it to close it. And that's my point for tonight. It doesn't matter from this point. If you're rocking, good, let's rock. If you're gone, good, bye. Because I'm not going to be beholden to nobody's feelings any longer. I'm turning the corner. I was trying to be modest and meek, but I guess I have to go back in the closet to be me now. And if people don't like it, so be it. My whole house about to change. And I mean it. Because to me, it's about the information and the law, what the Creator has produced. If it's about anybody else, if it's about anything else, I don't care. Because I accept the will of the Creator that I'm going to walk alone. And that's what it's going to be. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Half of you don't even call me. Most of you don't. So it really don't matter. So from this point, I thank the Creator for bringing me to this point. And I thank each one of you. If you continue to work with ITFTR Network, Entertainment LLC, I appreciate you. But if you don't, I thank you for me meeting you. But this house right here is about to be built and built correctly, according to the law. And that's my oath. Shalom.